Alright, so I'm going to try this video with the controls. It's kind of hard to see with the lighting we have and the screen. Basically you have your screen, which is actually a touch screen for some of the navigating and entering of the orders. The numbers on the side you use for actually entering the numbers or the measurements of the orders. This is an enter button. This is kind of a backspace button. These you can navigate the menu with that. F1 through 10 really isn't used a whole lot. We use F1 the most, depending on where you're at, or really wherever you're at, whether you're entering an order or in a different screen, settings or directional, whether you're running flat sheet or normal mode. If you ever need to get back to the main menu, you just hit F1 and then you go from there. So there's there again, it's hard to see, but there's 6 options. Enter order is the first option, run order is the second, manual run is the third, order type is the fourth, setup system is the fifth, and alarms is the sixth. Basically you'll be using 1 through 4. 5 and 6 are rarely used. So to enter an order, we would go to enter order. There's a little arrow. Right now I'm going down with it and back up with it, which is controlled by these buttons. So whichever one you want to go to, you would put that arrow to it and then click enter. So going into enter order, I'll put my arrow on there and come over here and hit the enter button, and there we go. So it runs off of jobs, quantity, and length. It's not necessarily a full job. They consider a job with this computer one measurement. So if you have an actual order that has more than one measurement, say it has 5 different measurements, on this screen you would enter in 5 different jobs. For instance, if we had say an order with 2 pieces at 10 feet long and 2 pieces at 9 feet long, my first entry would be 2 pieces at 9 feet long. This computer runs whichever measurement you entered last, that is what comes out first. So we run it on sawhorses, and I usually have my longer pieces on the bottom. So if we had the order of 2 pieces at 10 foot and 2 pieces at 9 foot, I would want my 10s coming out first, so they would actually be the second job. So we'll put in 2 pieces at 9 foot now for job number 1. Go to quantity, and that is touchscreen. If you ever need to go back, I hit the backspace button. You just highlight quantity, and however many you need, we need 2, so I'll come over here and press 2. It's kind of hard to see it change, but it did there, and then press enter. Brings you back to this screen. In the quantity section now we have 2, and go over to length, touch that, 9 feet. Everything is measured in inches on this computer, so 9 feet is 108 inches. Enter. So right now I have job 1, quantity 2, length 108, and then you press enter. Now it takes me to job 2. Job 1 is already in the computer, and then I would have 2 pieces. Here again, go over here and enter. Length at 10 feet, because that's what I want to come out first, is 120 inches. So job 2, quantity 2, length 120, and then I press enter. And then when you're ready to go, after that's all set, you have knobs down here as well. This one would start the orders. It says start there. This is a stop button. It says halt there above it. Reset. Say you are punching orders in and you realize you're entering the wrong order. Instead of going through each job and deleting them out, if you press reset, it resets the whole thing. Top and bottom panel depending on your speeds, and I'm not sure because we really didn't use the 5V panel on this machine much at all, but I think depending on which panel level you're using, top or bottom, they spin faster or slower. That may be something MRS could tell you how to set. For now we just have it set to the top because that's what we're running. Clutch, you can also control the clutch, which is the one that is back at the pre-cut table. Those two rollers that would feed the material in. So say you are running some metal, you cut a piece and there is some metal in the machine already, and you want to just run that piece through without having any more come from the coil or from like the pre-cut table, in-feed table. If you want to just run the mill, you can have your order running with the start button and then just switch this clutch to off, and that disengages the rollers back at the pre-cut table. So no material will be fed in, the rollers will continue moving, and you can get that one piece out. And then you have an emergency stop there. So there again, once you have your order entered, all you have to do is hit start and everything will activate. So going back to the main menu, the next line is run order. This is showing what is actively running now. So can't really see there, but we have some random stuff there probably left over from before. If you ever are double checking measurements that you punched in, you can come to this screen and look around. If you need to add a sheet as it's running, you can do that here with this button. Once you press start after entering an order, it automatically goes to this screen. But if you ever need to go out and come back into it, you can do that. So there again, I pressed F1, brings us back to the main menu. And now you have the third selection, which is manual run. This is the in-feed, this is the roll former itself. You can start the in-feed rollers manually from here, then forward, start and stop, forward, reverse, whichever one you want to do. And then there again, say you have trouble with a piece and you need to back it up a little bit or need to go forward a little bit, just the rollers and nothing else. You come to here and you have start and stop, reverse, forward, whatever you need to do there. And then going back to the main menu, selection number 4, which I'll show you, is the order type. There's normal mode. Once you punch in an order and press start, the in-feed table activates, the belts activate, the roll former itself activates. When running something in flat sheet mode, you select that. The in-feed and belts are the only thing that are going to run. The roll former itself will not. So if you were getting some flat sheets off for trim and you're running some 10-foot pieces, there again the in-feed table is 14, so you can run anything that length and it'll stay on the in-feed table. If you're running longer, you just might have to fold the metal over and double it up there, but this prevents it from getting sucked into the machine. So the rollers will not be running, and that is what flat sheet mode is. Short sheet mode is kind of interesting. So you can only run, the shortest piece you can enter into the machine is 36 inches. I would say the shortest piece that you want to run is probably 30 inches because of the spacing between the rollers. Any shorter, it'll get out of square. But short sheet allows you to, once you're in that mode, you can punch in as short of a measurement as you want. You just have to manually slow it down by starting and stopping, because as the coil metal is running through, when it gets close to the actual measurement it wants it to cut at, it'll slow down so it can get an accurate cut. When you're running short sheet, you have to manually kind of slow that down and cut that. There again, it's something we didn't use a whole lot. We would usually, if we had measurements shorter than 36, cut a panel that's maybe double the length that you need, and then cut it in half with a shear that we have separate from this machine. And then you have your setup system is number 5 and alarms is number 6. Shouldn't need to get into any of that. So that's the basics of the computer.